Today we're going to learn how to program a Jack JKT 1900 BLX. This machine is very versatile. It comes with a tacking clamp, but it also has a 40mm by 30mm box clamp already on the machine. As you can see, you can do this sort of patterns. Again, this is a JKT 1900 BLX. And before I program these machines, I usually do my patterns on the CAD program. For example, today I did it on the TurboCAD. You don't necessarily have to, but it's nice so you can map out all your points true to scale. After I do the design on the TurboCAD, I print it out, map my points, as you can see here. Then go to the machine and get in front of the programmer and get ready to set her up. You click on the eyeglass button there, you click on the programming panel, click enter. Now it will take you to the programming screen. Here you can first set a jog command. The jog command will take you to a point where you want the first stitch to come through the pattern. And so I'm going to go to about 9mm on the X and about 14 on the Y, because my whole pattern is going to be 38 by 28, and this is going to be a W stitch pattern. Of course, you can program anything you want on it, but just for this demonstration, we're going to do a simple W pattern. So I've come to my first point. I'm now going to click on the line. First, it's going to ask you to set your stitch length. The default is 3.2, which is pretty good in most of the patterns that you're going to do on webbing. I selected 3.0 to make it a little smaller, a little tighter. But that's for whatever the specifications call for. Next, you're going to set your speed. And normally I like to set my speed pretty slow, especially doing intricate patterns with a lot of curves and a lot of angles. And so once you set those two things, it takes you back to the programming screen. Now we're going to go and jog to the first point. So that would be my northwest corner, negative 19 by 14. And that's your X and Y coordinates. Once I get to where I want to go, I click on the point. You have to set the point, because if you just jog it around and you don't click on the set point button, it will not know to go there and stop. Next, I'm going to go to my southwest corner, put my point there, which is negative 19, negative 14. I'm going to jog it to the southeast corner at positive 19, negative 14. Set my point there. I'm going to jog it back up to positive 19, positive 14. Set my point. Then go all the way back to the northwest corner, and that basically will complete my perimeter. And as you're programming it on the panel, the machine will actually move with you. So the little noise you hear in the background, that is the actual machine moving to the points that I'm selecting. So we're now starting the W stitches. And I think I put them about 9mm apart. So now I just went to negative 9, negative 14. There, set my point. I'm going to go back on the top side of it. Jog it, jog it, jog it until you reach your exact point. Set my point there. Jog it back down. And right underneath the black screen is going to show you, on the left side, is going to show you your true X and Y coordinates where you are. And so you can set it to, I believe you have, it's 0.1mm increments. So you can be very exact in the points you're setting. Now I'm going to go back down, we're doing double stitching on the right side of the pattern. I'm going to come back down and start doing the stitches on the top, on the second half of the W stitches. Set my point there. Come back down to 0, -14. Set my point there. I'm going to go back up. It's a very easy to use control panel. Everything is touch screen, as you can see. Nothing very complicated. There are other settings. There are many other settings on the machine. For example, how to set your if you want to do curves or circles or anything like that. There's a lot of options there for the stitches. Right now we're just using straight line stitching. Set my other point. And then we're going to bring it around. I think I'm going to finish it about half the distance there. Now you can, normally if you want to, you can go back all the way across. It'll be a double line or a triple line on the top. But you can end it any way you want. I just like to end it with a little more, I guess, a long back tack. Once you're done with that, the machine will actually test the pattern, so pay close attention. Make sure that you're not exceeding the clamp, whatever clamp you have set on there. Make sure that everything is well inside the clamp. Now we're going to go and set the cut command right there. It's a little button that has a pair of scissors on it. You're going to set that. Now we're ready with everything. We gave it a set command. What we're going to do next is save the pattern. Click the button there with the arrow pointing inside the box. And we're going to give it a name of 110. We're going to save that pattern. Now we're going to click, there's a test button. We're going to click the test button. It'll bring you this screen. It's going to go to blue. That means that the machine is ready for testing. Pause it here, son. I didn't hear a click. Is it going? Now on the speed, on the bottom of the controls, basically you have a line that shows you the speed. You leave that to about 400. Well, right now we entered another test command, which basically runs the pattern one more time just to make sure everything is good. And you can keep pushing the button one by one. It'll take you stitch by stitch. Or if you keep your thumb pressed on it, it'll run it in a little faster mode. Or you can go back, push it again, and you can go stitch by stitch if you'd like to. Okay, now we're exiting that mode and going back to regular sewing mode. I'm just using, I believe that's a 2-inch webbing, or maybe 1.5 inch webbing, and we're just going to go ahead and sew a pattern, see how it does. Now, like I said, I'm running it fairly slow this time just to make sure that everything's tight and everything is good in the pattern. So far it looks good. We're going to do another test. And if you have a high volume production, of course you can increase the speed on it. Now you be the judge of how fast you want it to go, because if you go very fast in certain types of material, the machine will skip stitches, and we don't want that. So we want a nice, even if it's a little slow, but as long as it has a good stitch pattern without any skip stitches. So far, everything looks fantastic. There we go. These machines are very, very easy to program. Of course, you can do any kind of pattern in there that you want. You can do a box X, W stitches. You're just about limited only by your imagination and your requirements. But the machine will do any kind of pattern in there as long as it's within a 40 millimeter by 30 millimeter field size. Okay.